Well, we can probably do it. You'll have to send it over to me. I got to look it over. Okay. Thanks. Hey. Hi, guys. So, as we have mentioned in other vlogs, or the last vlog especially, we are back in Winter Haven, California. And a couple of things about I wanted to share with you, particularly when you travel and you're chasing 70 degrees, which was our goal 3-4 years ago when we started doing this. One of the things that happens to you is you start to get acclimated to the warmer temperatures. And right now it's 50 degrees outside, and we are in Winter Haven, California. A lot of you have corrected me many times because we started doing this. We said we're in Yuma, Arizona. We picked that because most people would be able to find that quickly on a map, and we really like Arizona, and so that's what we always refer to it as. Of course, we're wrong. But one of the things that happens to you once you get acclimated to warmer temperatures is 50 feels like 40. And this morning, because the sun, because they came through the middle of the night and sprayed all the chemtrails, it's really cut down the sunshine. And so basically that's what's going on. We're out underneath the sky that's covered with some clouds that are forming to whatever the government is really doing. We love the government. Oh, hell, government. Something like that. Anyway, a couple of things I wanted to share with you is, like we've said on other vlogs, we come down here basically to get ready to go back out on the road and try to go on some really good adventures, which we want to share with you. But the problem is, we have found is the fuel costs are pretty steep, and because sometimes things get a little crazy politically, we decided to spend more time in Colorado last year, which you got all kinds of videos about with grandkids and with family. This year we're really hoping to get into New Mexico more, and this is our next our season 4. We're hoping to get into New Mexico a lot and show you that with the New Mexico State Parks, which we have been blown away by. They're not very full, they're not very expensive, and they're usually around some kind of reservoir water, dam or something like that. But now we're here for 4 months. I don't know if I'm going to put out a video every month, or excuse me, every week, because I don't have a lot of followers right now, and we're still struggling to get our viewers up and all that stuff. Lots to learn. I didn't want to vent about that, but I did want to show you camp. We got it a little bit better. We've got to do some repairs. Still haven't fixed this yet. Somewhere in all of our stuff we misplaced the putty. And Pati showed you what we're going to be doing, and we're going to talk about that on this particular vlog. This is a propane dual fridge, and it's actually for sale right now. We're selling it, trying to sell it. If you try to buy a Norcold fridge like this, it's $4,600. Yeah, I mean, I'm not kidding you. Go Google it, see if you can buy one. They're $4,600. We took it out, and it's just, I don't know if you can see if I got enough light. There is so much to it so that it can produce what you need for a fridge. So we took that out, we replaced it with a residential fridge. I'm going to talk about that and show you that. And first I'm going to go back here and show you the back. So if I take this off, this is where the propane fridge was. You can see we've taken off the power, turned it off. We have plugged up the propane line, and we just have a regular plug-in back here behind the fridge. This is now a residential fridge, and we love it. Now, if you're planning on going full-time and you go into a dealership, more and more of them are now starting to put in residential fridges, where before it was pretty much a dual fridge, butane and propane, or excuse me, propane dual electric fridge. So we replaced that and put in, I'll show you inside, we took that refrigerator out. That was our project. That was what we're about to show you. It's coming up here in just a few minutes, as much as we filmed, but I wanted to show you the back end. And then if you come around, here's the camp. I also promised you I'd show you the camp. It's coming along, it's getting there. A lot of things that we put down on the ground and whatnot to keep the wind from blowing all these mats up, and when the wind comes through, it's something else. But if you come with me inside, Patty's working, so you might hear some voices in the background. She's actually talking to her boss right now. But come in the rig. Let me turn on some more lights. That's better. Okay. This is what we've replaced the propane dual fridge, Norcold fridge with. This is a really nice residential fridge. It's brighter. It works like the fridge that you might have at home. It's got plenty of space. Patty loves it. And if Patty loves it, you know, things get better. When Mama's happy, everybody's happy. So I just wanted to, sorry if I move around too fast. Right now, we're sitting at 51% of our battery's capacity. And we got 13.4 coming in on the top there. You can see that.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is...
So, what I'm trying to share with you is, it's made a big difference because we were going to get propane. And two things that we don't like about going to get propane is, one, you got to go hunt it down, and two, you're subject to whatever the price is in the area that you're at. We paid as much as almost $5 a gallon for propane. We paid as little as in a couple of years ago in Colorado City, which was right next to where there was a place where they had propane, where they were, I guess, farming it or getting it out of the ground, was $1.79. So we don't like that. Now we pretty much do everything off of electricity. So now if you come back out here with me, the other thing that we were challenged with was our freezer. And so if you'll walk in here with me, basically we're running freezer out here. It's a small one, but it really helped us out. So between this and the refrigerator inside, the freezer out here, which we're running off the same solar power system, I'm able, run the cord here out to the trailer. We are running that and the refrigerator inside, and everything else off of our solar. All these panels out here, and what I have on the roof, which is another 1800 watts on the roof, but they're not tilted. They're just made for me and Patty when we go on the road. But this stuff is going through another charge controller inside, and this is an additional 1800 watts. And between the two of these, we have power to do just about everything, to and including when it's cold, as I spoke about in the first part of the vlog. When it's cold, 50, it feels like it's 30, 40. We're able to turn the fireplace on and run it. So let's move into talking about insulation and what we had to do. Basically, plug up the propane in the back, cut off the electricity. There was already 110 outlet back there because the refrigerator is designed to run off of either propane or electricity when you're in full hookups. If we run that, if we just switch it over, even with all the solar that we have, if we switch it over and try to run it off our batteries, it would just suck the power right out. Patty accidentally turned it over to electric. We went to bed one night, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, the siren, or not siren, well, the alarms go off for both the low electricity and the refrigerator. So it was drawing probably somewhere between 600 and 700 watts, and I think with it, it's almost constant. I don't think that Norcold really goes through cycles. It's just constantly running. More about all that in a little bit. Talk to you again soon.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm.
We had to take the doors off. It's for the channel. And put them back here. The rest of it. We're basically disassembling a fridge. So then we can take out that monster. Okay guys. I was gonna put up the video of us. Patty was actually filming that portion of it. I'll probably put a little part up there so you can see what I mean. Got real chaotic. Inside the rig we were trying to put a refrigerator. We brought the one refrigerator, the new one, in and put it in the back, and that way we could plug it in, start putting some stuff in it and get it cold while we were taking the old refrigerator out. And she missed filming some of that, so she actually accidentally, you can hear us talking, but covered up the lens, the cover, so really got nothing. At any rate, I wanted to show you what we did on the top here. If I take this piece off, you can see these holes in this piece of metal. The same thing is on the bottom. So when you take this fridge out, you got to take all these out, and the ones on the bottom, there's another panel, like I said, just like this. And this stuff is actually what fits over the top like this. Fits over the top like this. And that's how it fits in there. And then there's some more kind of like this on the back that you have to take off. And what I showed you earlier, where you have to undo the 12 volts that are coming in through probably, I don't know, 12 gauge wire, because it doesn't draw supposedly a lot of electricity that way. And then you have to undo the propane line and then plug that up. Otherwise, so if you try to use your furnace for propane or anything, you know, obviously it's going to stink, it's going to leak, it's going to cause problems. And here I only run that propane this morning for heat, and it's already down, so I'm going to shut it off. I mean, that's one of the hardest things about this rig, is if it gets cold and you want to heat things up, wow, it goes through some propane pretty fast. So I'm turning that off in case I need it for another emergency where it gets too hot. So I'm going to go on this other one over here too. And basically what we're trying to do is get to the point where we are running everything off the sun and our battery banks, because I have 8 lithium battle-borne batteries in the rig, and with the solar that we have, we're able to run this Davy Crockett grill, charge up our bikes, and here I showed you earlier, run this freezer, and run the whole rig with Pati working, and the new fridge, which I want to talk about real quick. Basically, this refrigerator is just sitting in here. We have, turn the light back on again. We have some space on this side, and you can see Pati's turned it into her little broom closet. We'll eventually put some hooks and things up inside there. I don't know if you can see that very well, but anyway, put this little door here. This is just trim, and then Pati painted it, but there's a couple of screws down there in the bottom, And across this top here, we used a saw to clear this out. So it's basically wedged in there with a couple of plates down here so it won't shift this way. And in the back, I've got another one so that it won't come this way. So she's in there pretty good. But that's what we had to do to get her installed. We basically took the first refrigerator, the propane one out, and then we put the dual Norcold, and then we put this one in, and we absolutely love it. It's just the best thing that we've done so far. We filmed a lot of it, but like I said, I realized that somebody put something over the lens, and we didn't get any of that. All you're going to get is voiceover, and it's just us talking back and forth about what we're putting in, taking out, and hold this, and measure this, and cut this, and it just didn't turn out. So hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. We literally went into Home Depot with a meter, watts meter, and we went to different refrigerators, and we unplugged them and plugged them through the watts meter. So we opened up the door and lowered the temperature, to watch how many watts it took. We went there. We went from Home Depot over to Lowe's Garden Center, and we found the fridge that we really liked. It cost, no, it wasn't too bad. Anyway, so we got, with my military discount, we're able to pick up, well, actually they didn't give us a military. They don't do military discounts. You should know that on appliances at Lowe's anymore. But the price was still good. The watts that it was pulling was excellent, and we liked the layout of the refrigerator. And there she is. I believe she's a Samsung. Okay, guys, more to come. Keep watching. We'll talk to you soon.
Right here, I got it. I don't really want it. It's a fitted sheet, so it should wrap around snugly.
Make it rip.
That's quite all right.
What? That isn't my favorite sheet.
Oh, wait, before you go, let's ask Coach.
Okay, everybody, I'm here with my coach. This is I Go Where I'm Towed. You can find him on YouTube. Excellent. I have referred to him many times, but we just a few days ago, I think like a week,
something like that. Yeah.
Okay, we just put in a residential fridge in my rig and took out our Norcold 18 cubic foot refrigerator that runs dual power. It runs on electricity if you have full hookup, or it runs on propane. And the propane, you heard me talking about that earlier in the video, why we are moving away from it. But what I think was left out, and I started talking about, if you go into a dealership, you're starting to get more and more people that are saying, look, I want a residential fridge.
Yep.
What you need to ask them.
Do you know why a lot of folks are going over to the
No.
residential fridges? Is because in the same space that a gas electric RV refrigerator fits, you can put in a residential refrigerator that's larger.
Yeah, we found that out already. That's
Yeah.
really true. Okay, and I'm telling you straight up, if you get the right one that's low wattage,
Those what you want to look for are the Energy Star efficient.
Okay, so like I said in the video, we actually took one of those watt meters over and checked each one and played around with it, did our measuring. But when you go into a new dealership and you say, look, I've heard these Norcold whatever dual things, they are really nice, they work if you're not going full-time, I would think, and you're just going out to camp for a couple weeks or a month, and you say, you know, we're going to go over here and we're just going to boondock, then yeah, they don't draw a lot of power from your batteries, and they run on propane till your propane runs out. You're okay. So however long that takes. Now, but if you want to be a full-timer like we are, and you go out full-time, you may want a residential fridge because it's larger. It's just wonderful.
Well, and the other reason being is that you can run it on AC,
right,
120 volts, and it draws less than the gas electric ones. The gas electric ones that you'll find that are like 8 cubic foot, they'll draw right around 300 and somewhere between 350 and 400 watts. I think the one that you have, if I remember right, it was
Almost 600.
Yeah, it was almost 600 watts.
585.
Right. Well, at that wattage, your batteries are not going to last very long at all.
And we don't know how it cycles, because it may not cycle like the one I have now, which quite frankly I was afraid to put in, because I'd wake up in the middle of the night and, you know, like before, and as it cools down, and whatever it does, it just does it well. But now we're going in, we're going into a dealership, and I'm gonna tell them, look, I'm gonna buy this fifth wheel, or I'm gonna buy this Class A or pole trailer or whatever, and I want a residential fridge. You gotta ask them, how is it powered if I go out and I have nothing? I'm boondocking, or I'm going to someplace for 2 months. How am I going to power it? Because it will run, it will fool you, it will run off your batteries, your 2 house batteries, for a little while, and then all of a sudden when it runs down after time, how are you doing it? So you've got 3 ways. You can go full hookup, then you won't even think about it, because they have the power of wherever you're at. 2, you have a generator. The generator can keep things running, but the third one that we think is the best is solar. What am I looking for when I go in, Coach?
Well, you have to understand, most of the RVs that are built with the idea that you're going to go to a park and you're going to plug into a pedestal.
Exactly.
They're not building these things for people who boondock. Now, I understand there's a
They're
couple
moving that way.
Yeah, they're moving that way, and there are a couple of manufacturers out there that have done some things that helps those who just want to boondock. But for the most part, those rigs are built to be plugged into a pedestal in a park.
Exactly.
Now, if you want a full-time like we are, you're gonna have to have solar, and you're gonna have to have batteries.
Okay, and I'm not talking about somebody that's going to go buy all that stuff like we did. I'm talking about somebody, the minimal. He should be looking for, with his own 2 eyes, a certain amount of solar on the roof, a charge controller, and an inverter. That's what I want you to talk about. What is the minimum that, because I noticed
that's hard to say, because rigs are different sizes, refrigerators are different sizes. Sure. I don't want to tell someone, well, you're going to need 200 amp hours of battery and you're going to need 400 watts of solar, because they could go out and they could get one of these huge fifth wheels like yours that has the double door refrigerator that pulls almost 600 watts. 2 batteries and 400 watts is not going to handle it.
Not going to work.
So you really want to talk with your dealer, and you want to make sure that they understand what it is that you want to do, that you want to boondock, and you want that dealer to understand that I'm going to need the power to do this. Your best bet, though, would be to do the research and upgrade.
Go and know what you're doing.
Upgrade your own rig, or have someone do it for you if you're not comfortable doing that kind of stuff. Again, it's because we can't stand here and say, okay, yeah, you need 4 batteries and 6 panels, or 2 batteries and 4 panels, or whatever. Because there's too many variables there.
Yep. In my opinion, though, you go into a dealership, it has a residential fridge, and he says, and you say, well, I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks, and he says you're going to have no problem. You need to be cautious. You need to look and say, okay, now wait a minute. I'm at least know this. I better have some solar on my roof, dedicated, not running the whole coach or the rig, dedicated to that refrigerator. Well, and some kind of inverter and charge controller. Otherwise, he's lying to you. You need to walk away. Yeah. That's my point of all this.
Right. And it's going to be tough to, like I said, to tell what size people need, because I'm not 100% sure that these solar systems that the manufacturers are installing is only dedicated to the refrigerator. I'm going to take it for granted that it's going to power the whole rig. So if they have a television that's 120 volts, there's power being drawn there. If they run their microwave, power being drawn there. So you really need to take a look at what your power consumption is for the day, and then try and figure out from there. There's plenty of sites on the internet that have the calculators that'll help you determine okay, I'm drawing, say, 100 amp hours or 100 kilowatts a day. I'm going to need this number of batteries, this size solar panels. The other thing that needs to be kept in mind, we have folks who are watching YouTube all over the world. Now, we're here in the desert Southwest,
Right.
where most days, unlike the last two, it's nothing but sun.
Right.
You get back east of the Mississippi, I'm from Michigan, we don't have the sun like we do out here during the summer or during the winter. Because we have a lot of rain days. So you have to take all of this into consideration, where you're going to be,
Right.
you know,
Right.
how much power you want to consume. It's easy to figure out. You just got to take a little time to research.
So
But to answer your question about a dealership,
yeah.
quite honestly, I wouldn't trust any dealer.
Yeah. I'm just saying,
and-
you just make sure that you have those minimals. If you want to try to boondock at all, you better have some generator, and you better have some solar and a charge controller.
Exactly.
And you're going to have, and that's what he's talking about, guys, and that's what's going to determine what if you're going to run the whole coach, if you run all that stuff, your TV, you know, your furnace. Once you turn on a furnace, it's going to. So all those things you have in consideration. I want to try to shorten this up by a little bit. The main thing that you're going to need is a coach, and my coach is not available. You can't afford him.
I'll tell you, here's the system that I run. I have 6 100 amp hour batteries, lithium batteries, and I have 3,000 watts of solar. Now, because of the way my rig is outfitted, I can put 2,000 watts on the roof. The other 1,000 watts is on the ground.
Yeah, I'm going to show him that. We're gonna walk.
And the reason I do that is because with that other 1,000 watts, I can run my air conditioner.
Nice.
So I can't. It's a heat pump style air conditioner. It has 2 compressors in it. I can't run both compressors at the same time, but I can run one.
Which is nice come April.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this is my coach's rig. It's a diesel pusher, Class A, obviously. In the back, he's got the same situation I have. He has to deal with the wind. So these are his panels on the back. How much is that? About 1,000?
Yeah, it's just over 1,000. 345 watts a panel.
Yeah, and then on the top,
There's 3 there, and then over at the back there's 3 more. Now the way they're set up on the back, I can't tilt them, but I can tilt the ones on the front here.
yeah, but this going down the road, you know, your refrigerator and all,
Oh, yeah.
it's going fine.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
point of it.
With the system that we're running, like I said, the 6 100 amp hour batteries, the 2,000 watts of solar, we're able to use everything in the coach, with the exception of the air. We can run our microwave at night when we don't have sun. We can run it at night for upwards of 15-25 minutes and not going to have a hard impact on the battery capacity.
Yep.
So if we want, we can use it at night to warm up some dinner if we wanted to. We could run the TV. We can run our lights, our furnace. I have to have a CPAP. I run that all night long. So I looked at what we wanted to do for power. We're energy hogs, I'll admit it.
So are we. That's why I have as much as I do. I have 3,600 watts, actually 4,100, but I don't use all of it. Okay, guys, that's it for Coach. It went longer than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be short and sweet, but there's some good information in there. You can find him on YouTube. I go where I'm told. I'll leave some links down in the description. Thanks for watching. Say goodbye, Coach.
Bye.
Bye, Coach.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm.